Hello, my name is Kiriath, and today we are going to have another little Monday ramble. It is actually Monday once again. We're back into the swing of things now. It's all happening on the right day and everything. We've got a few different things to talk about, but I think what we're going to go for straight off the bat is we're just going to have a little chat about the Beast Snaggas box, because this is interesting to me, because this has seen a tipping point. Now, generally speaking, when we have these limited boxes, I see a good number of people who are disappointed, but I also see many people who are happy because they managed to get hold of one. I don't follow, I follow like 1,100 people on Twitter, which is quite a lot, and it's a lot to keep up with. But generally speaking, I tend to see a fairly even spread of what happens, and, I take a look at Facebook pages and stuff as well, and generally speaking, with these limited boxes, there's a few people who are disappointed because they didn't get one, and a few people who have managed to get hold of one and are happy about it. This box feels like a tipping point, whereby I have actually seen, somehow, the maths doesn't quite add up, I will give you this, but I've seen more people disappointed about the fact they couldn't get it than people who are happy about the fact that they could. Now, obviously, people will have got hold of it. It's not like no one was able to buy it, although the fact that there are 40 copies on eBay currently, and I counted them earlier, there are genuinely 40 copies, going from anywhere between £200 to £350. By the way, if you're watching the person who put it up at 350, you're having a laugh. There's no way. I mean, I hope there's no way. For the love of God, don't buy this box for £350? £350? You must be joking. Like, you're paying like 3 times what the contents are worth if you do that. Don't do that. Like, what? Just don't do it. But this time round, I don't know, it just feels like this is like even worse for the whole FOMO kind of artificial scarcity thing than normal, because I've seen more people disappointed than people who actually managed to get hold of it. Independent retailers got sent 1 or 2 copies, which is crap. It's just garbage. And the thing is, maybe things aren't back to normal. Maybe production is still a bit of an issue. Maybe it is a case of, well, we just couldn't really make that many more because we had to focus all our efforts on Dominion to make sure there was plenty of that. But there's only so many of these releases that can be tolerated by, a fan base or a customer base. I don't think it's a case of just being able to do this infinitely. It's getting to the point now where for myself, and I know several other people now, who just look at these boxes and go, yeah, I'm struggling to bring myself to care. Because the chances are you're not going to be able to get one. You don't want that to be the reaction. When you announce a new product and you announce something that's supposed to be big and like a celebration of new models and, oh my god, guys, look at this. It's a brand new range refresh. We've got a whole load of stuff in here, totally new, and we know you want to get hold of it. You don't want people to sit there and go, yeah, but I'm never going to be able to buy it, so what's the point? That's not great. That's not great. That's an attitude you don't want, because it just means you've actively put people off from wanting to purchase the products that you keep putting out. Now, I'm no like economics sort of guru or anything, but I feel like just on a gut level, just on like an instinctual level, that making your customers not give a shit about your big products that you keep putting out is not the way to go. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe there always will be like a dedicated, hardcore group of people who are like, well, I've only managed to pick up 1 box out of the last 5, and every time I try and get it, it's an exercise in frustration because it goes out of stock really quickly, then I have to go to other places, and I can't use my local game store because they only sent them like 2, and if I didn't call the day that it was announced, then I wasn't going to be able to get hold of a copy from there. But you know what? It's all good. I'm just going to carry on. You might have like a core group of people who will continue to do that, but I feel like even that group, eventually, you will get people who just go, what's the point? Like, what is the point in even trying to get a hold of this? Like, if it's just going to go out of stock immediately, if it's going to be sold so quickly that I can't even get on the website, if it's the case of the queue system means that I can't actually get close to it before it's sold out. I mean, it went off, I think it sold out in 30 minutes. Which, 30 minutes is still longer than some of the other boxes, but it's still only 30 minutes. And I just don't know how sustainable that is. I don't know how sustainable it is to keep, piling on the disappointment of saying, this could be yours. I mean, it's not going to be yours, but this could be yours. It's totally not going to be, just like the last 4 weren't, but it could be. I don't know how many times you can do that before eventually people go, I just don't care anymore. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with these boxes. Like, I wasn't like... I was tempted. I was briefly tempted with the Beast Snaggas box. But I knew it was going to... As soon as I found out it was going to be, like, super limited, and it wasn't going to be an option, it was a case of, well, someone else could have it. I didn't even, like, entertain kind of fighting for it, or, like, say fighting for it, like, trying to find a copy. It was a case of, well, I know, I've heard it's super limited, I've been told that it's only got 1 or 2 copies for some places. I just won't bother. That's not the right reaction. Like, I mean, it's the right reaction for the consumer, because that means the consumer's being sensible, but it's not the reaction you want if you're trying to sell people stuff. Surely. And the scalping thing, we've talked about it often enough. We talk about it constantly, because it keeps happening. But this kind of limited release, it just encourages it. There's no two ways about it. There's no argument against that. You can't say, oh, well, actually, if you look at it, people are trying to scalp all the models at Games Workshop. So, no, they don't. There's no point. The vast majority of the time, anything you want from Games Workshop, you can get from a third-party retailer for cheaper or for the same price, but you're still, giving them your business. And you don't go to eBay and find... Like, you don't go to eBay and find copies of the Redemptor Dreadnought for, like, 3 times the asking price. That doesn't happen, because you can just buy it. It doesn't happen to anything but these boxes. Anything but, like, the limited books. Things like the collector's edition stuff for Black Library. And that's because those are produced on a model of, like, of artificial scarcity, where they deliberately make hardly any of them, and then that means that scalpers have just got free reign to go, well, people want this, Games Workshop are never going to make enough, and so we can just go for it. Again, it's a great way of breeding resentment amongst the people who are trying actively to give you cash. It's a great way of doing that. I don't know how sustainable it is long term, and it is genuinely something of a concern that we might see a sudden point where there's just no point in them making these kind of boxes, because people just don't bother trying to buy them. It just gets to the point where it's like, well, why? Why put yourself through the frustration and the upset of not getting the thing you want? There's countless other things you can buy. There's countless other products I could spend money on. Why would I, like, kind of go through the rigmarole of trying to get hold of this when I know that there's a very slim chance of actually getting it? Especially when you consider that the contents of these boxes are going to be available anyway. The only thing that's different about the box is that it's got a fancy codex. All the models are going to be available separately. I mean, if you want to teach your customers to just sit tight and wait for a bit, this is the way to do it, but it doesn't mean you're going to sell those boxes. It means people aren't going to bother trying for them. They're just going to wait until the contents come out at a later date. If that's what you want to do, then that's fine, but I don't necessarily know that is something that is particularly wanted when it comes to this sort of thing. I don't know, it's just another one of those releases. Anyway, what do we have in terms of pre-order stuff? Stuff that you will be able to get a hold of for an extended period of time that won't just disappear immediately, because that's, let's face it, kind of what you want. Funnily enough, it's some of the stuff that was in Dominion. So the Warhammer Age of Sigmar starter sets, essentially exactly the same as the 40k ones, and yeah, they, like the 40k ones, I'm sure will be insanely good value. You know, when you compare this stuff to the rest of the range and buying kits separately, these make a lot of sense. And this starter set will most likely be a similar comedy price point to the 40k one, where it's like £1.50 more than a box of Necron Warriors, even though it contains a full squad of Necron Warriors and like 7 other models. So you got the small one with the box you can turn over for terrain. Then you've got the medium one with more models. You got your little grots in there as well. Your Hob Grot Slitters, excellent name. Slightly bigger bit of box terrain there, as you can see. And then the final one, again, same as the 40k one, where you've got the previous tier, but with a bunch of scenery. Some good looking scenery as well. Some nice scenery there. I do like the new AOS scenery. It's got a very cool feel to it, especially that whatever that dome is. It looks cool, and I would like it. Also got the paint sets as well, so you can get the one that's got like one of each with all the tools kind of that you sort of need. Terrible cheap brushes, very cheap brushes, but it's fine. You get a bunch of paints in there as well. You get the 2 boxes that have got a couple of models in, As well, you know what? They're a good idea. Don't expect the brushes to last very long. If you did pick one of those up, would be my suggestion, because they gave some of those brushes away in the Immortal Realms, and the one that I got just broke immediately. Like, it just snapped. It just fully snapped. Now, I wasn't going all like Granny Thunder hands on it or anything, but it just collapsed under the pressure of being picked up. So, not the highest quality, but then they are like little cheapy starter sets, so you don't expect too much. And of course you got yourself some nice test models as well, which is good. There's also the Realm Gate expansion set, which, as I say, I like this scenery. It's cool. I like this kind of temple or building under construction feel that they've got going on with these. They look really cool. The statues are a bit weird on second glance, because they're kind of the heads are turned all the way to the right, which is a little odd, but they still look pretty fun. They still look pretty cool. I'd imagine it's probably not that difficult to just turn the heads the other way, to be honest, which I probably would, just because I think it would look a little bit better. It's very stylised, which is probably the point, but it's just too extreme of an angle for me, and I just did it and looked all the way away from the microphone, so I apologise if the sound went terrible there. You've also got the getting started thing again as well, so it's just like parity across the two systems. It's good though. Nice to have an easy way to introduce people into the hobby. Just go, hey, well, just buy this box. Just buy this box, get a few models, get some paints, you're good to go. It kind of softens the blow for when they start a full-on army and discover that everything is horrendously expensive. Got more of the endless spell stuff being re-released in different packs. I do like these, actually. They do look cool. They look really cool. That is an amazing bit of scenery, and I want that to probably stick on the back of something. What, though? What can I stick on the back of that? How big is it? Is it massive? I need to find a size comparison, because I need to build a Mega Gargant to go with my little Ambot Gargants, and you know what? That would be really... something like that would be a really cool thing to put on the carapace for it. That's probably too big, though, isn't it? I bet that's pretty big. I need to find a size comparison. The endless spells just look cool. They just do. There's some really cool stuff in there. The massive glaive, the pendulum glaive, will always be a quality model. We've also got some more McFarlane toys as well. Got a Blood Angel, painted and unpainted, and we've got a Sister of Battle, painted and unpainted. The Sister of Battle actually looks really cool, although the pre-painted version, just no effort. No effort put on the iconography. Come on, all the little fleur-de-lis should be like gold or white or silver or something. Come on, lads. Come on. I mean, admittedly, I know that they're not that expensive. As such, expecting an amazing paint job on it is kind of dumb. But I think it's because, let's face it, Space Marines, unless you're going super fancy or you're doing something like really overblown in terms of ornamentation, like Blade Guard or Stern Guard veterans or, that sort of thing, they've just got nice smooth armour that you don't need to put a huge amount of effort into to make them look okay. And as such, the pre-painted Space Marines look alright because, well, just big smooth panels. Then you get to a Sisters of Battle model and it's just so much more going on. They've done a good job scaling it up. It's got all of the little rivets and the ornamentation and the iconography, but it's all black, which makes it look a bit cheap. But that's because it is a little bit cheap. But it's fine. Just buy the unpainted one and do it in your own colours. I'm actually kind of tempted by that. I wasn't too bothered about the Space Marine ones, but I don't know, that could be kind of fun as a different project. I'll probably make a right dog's dinner of it, though. So we also have some Black Library stuff. We have Indomitus, which is available to pre-order in paperback. Which, yeah, so that's you can buy that. And also Thunderstrike and Other Stories. So not a huge amount for Black Library, and a reduced schedule on Warhammer TV again, which I think it looks like this is just the standard going forward, isn't it? It's just going to be 3 days a week, which makes sense. Anyway, there you go. A bit more complainy than your standard Monday Ramble, but that's because they keep doing stuff that makes me complain. I say keeps. It's just this. It's just this, really. Everything else is fine. But yeah, is there anything in there that is catching your eye? Anything you're planning to pick up? Or is it pretty light next week's pre-orders for you? Let me know in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link for Element Games in the description, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. And leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.